Hi, this is Ebony Cheyne from shinefrominside.com. I'm excited to be here today for my first interview in a series with some amazing people I've worked with in my career from all over the world that have amazing wisdom and knowledge that I want to share with you. So when I was looking for a way to heal myself, I was on 15 medications a day and in a very stressful career, I came across Hayley and her story. And then she introduced me to doTERRA. She trained me daily in the business and now helps me, amongst others, to support my team across the world. So who is Hayley? She's an incredible entrepreneur who in her first 3 years with doTERRA earned over 3 million per year. And
Wait a minute, that's not totally accurate.
Is it not? Okay, you can correct
No.
me. She earned very big money and other revenue on the side. You can correct me in a moment, Hayley. I'll get you to tell me a bit more about yourself in a moment. In normal business models, that is mental. It's not normal to earn that kind of money. As a single person business. So yeah, and with doTERRA is residual income. So Hayley, tell me a bit more about that. How much do you?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for having me on your interview today. I'm excited to be here. I live in Boulder, Colorado. The sun is finally out here. We're quarantined here at home. My daughter is downstairs. We have a big sort of loft-like house, and she's downstairs talking. So if you hear her on the video, she might be cuter than I am, so you can try to pay attention to what she's saying. Yeah, my doTERRA business was super successful at first. I went out there and did everything I could to make sure that everybody knew about what I call this plant magic. And within 6 months, I was earning what would be a 6-figure income. Within 14 months, I was earning what would be a 7-figure income. And I'd like to say I was earning 3 million, but that's not totally the case. My average earnings in doTERRA are somewhere just over $2 million a year now. And maybe with the other things and the other coaching and that kind of stuff that I have going on, maybe around 2.5. So yeah, still good money, still really great money, but I don't want to get inaccurate information out there.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much for clarifying. But that's, yeah, very impressive stuff. So I just wanted to ask you some questions really so my team and everyone can get to know you a bit better. So yeah, my first question was going to be, where are you from and where do you live now?
Yeah, so I just said that I am in Boulder, Colorado, and that is about 30 miles, 25 miles from Denver, Colorado, big city, Denver. And we also have another home in Cardiff by the Sea. So not Cardiff where you guys are, but Cardiff by the Sea, which is a part of what we call San Diego County, North San Diego County. So about 20 minutes from the San Diego airport, a little bit north on the way into Orange County.
Wow, amazing. And where are you from originally?
From all over the place. I was born in New York City. I lived for a while in Philadelphia. I went to school in Boston. I came back to Philadelphia, and then I lived in LA for about a decade as well.
Fantastic. Okay, and what did you do before you started with doTERRA?
Yeah, so before doTERRA, believe it or not, about 25 years ago, I actually was a practicing attorney. And I made a decision back then that I wanted to leave the career of law and I wanted to do something that spoke more to my heart, which at that time was health, wellness, and fitness. So I became a Pilates and a yoga teacher. And I did that for about 15 years. And when I found doTERRA essential oils, I realized, wow, this is really a cool way to incorporate this into this personal brand, which could be more of an online business where I'm teaching people not only to move their bodies, but all the different ways that they can take care of their bodies emotionally, physically, and mentally. And I started my doTERRA business about 7.5 years ago.
Okay, wonderful. What exactly appealed to you about doTERRA in terms of business?
There's a lot of things that appeal to me. And number one, there's a lot of integrity in the company. The products are probably the purest products in the world when it comes to essential oils or essential oil infused products. The owners, there's 7 of them, which is amazing. The company's not just owned by one person. They're going all over the world to make sure that they're sourcing their crop, their oils from the most indigenous regions in the world, that you're getting exactly what is said to be in the bottle, right? There's nothing that's contaminated. There's nothing that is adulterated. It's just pure essential oil. The ethics of the company are incredible. The culture, the social life, obviously the financial, like there's just so many good things to say about both the company and the product and where it's taken my life just from a social perspective and a financial perspective.
And you had your own sort of experience with the oils quite early on as well, didn't you? That must have had some kind of influence on your like love for the company.
Yeah, I mean, in the very beginning, I had struggled with digestive issues my entire life, and serious digestive issues where I mean, I couldn't. I could never spend a day without feeling pain in my gut. I was nauseous. I had diarrhea. I was throwing up. I had gas. I had bloating. Like I was uncomfortable my entire life. And I had been to every single doctor under the sun, and no one had given me any form of relief that would allow me to go about my day with ease and grace, and the kind of ease and grace that you need to not feel anxious in your body and stressed out because you're feeling so physically uncomfortable that you end up feeling emotionally uncomfortable and mentally uncomfortable and uncomfortable in your social surroundings. So about 10 years ago, or I would say maybe 8 years ago, yeah, about 8 years ago, I had a moment where I was really deathly sick. Like I had come down with something bigger than what I had even been feeling before. And my body had just really shut down. Like everything had shut down. My digestive system had shut down. My pancreas had shut down. My liver had shut down. My kidneys had shut down. My skin was turning gray. And I was at that moment, like sitting on the stairs in my house because I literally couldn't make my way up. And I had been holding my daughter. She was 2 at the time. And I felt like I had become like a complete failure. Like she was scared, she was crying, I was scared, I was crying, and I just knew I needed to find another solution. So I went and found this doctor who lived like 6 miles up this windy canyon here, who's only open 2 days a week and booked like 6 months out. And I said to him, "You need to see me." And I begged him. And within 2 days, I was on his couch, and he looked at my tongue, and he felt my pulse, and he said, "Your body is in a state of fight or flight. And if you don't change the way that you're behaving in your life right now, then you're not going to make it." So that was the first path of me like cleaning up my act. I spent a year at the integrative nutrition school for integrative nutrition, and I went to a raw food certification, and I quit my job, and I focused primarily on acupuncture and Chinese herbs and food and nutrition. And who knew, I started to feel a ton better. But I also just knew there was more. And that is when I discovered doTERRA. And it started to make faster, incredible differences in my body. And again, like I came there because I needed the physical relief, but I can't even begin to tell you what happens from an emotional perspective in your life when you're using essential oils with your mental health. And everybody needs to focus on these days. And that is what I love about doTERRA.
Amazing. God, I wish I brought some tissues with me for this interview. I didn't realize. Yeah, it's really hard to hear your story. It's quite similar to my own as well, obviously, which is why you appealed to me so much, and you spoke to me in the very beginning as well, because it is quite similar. And yeah, I totally agree with you. It's so, so powerful. So what made you like trust them enough to really like give it your all and jump in? You obviously had, you could have earned a lot of money in your law career. You were obviously doing very well. I know you're a bit more about your story before, and you're managing a gym, and you had a lot of success in everything you've done before doTERRA. So why did you sort of feel that trust to really jump in with it?
Yeah, I mean, for me, again, it was like I was in love with the product. I was in love with the way that I was finally feeling, and I was already starting to see small wins. And I think that that's what people need to see, is they just need to start to get the small wins, right? And the small wins for me were other people finding relief, and then seeing those small paychecks coming in and sharing, and people being open to the possibility of a new remedy, a new alternative. And so I went to that first leadership retreat. It was like 3 months after I had joined, and I just felt the energy in the room, and it was somewhere I wanted to be. I knew I felt like, and I've been to summits and I've been to conferences, and sometimes I'm just like, yeah, the information's good, but I feel like a little bit of out of body experience, and I don't feel like I'm truly aligned or in the game, or that these are my peeps. And that moment I felt it. I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And every time I go now to a doTERRA convention or a doTERRA regional event or an international conference or a convention, I know that I'm home.
Yeah, you really feel it in your water, they say in Scotland.
Yeah.
Amazing. And I think you might have really answered this, but is there anything else, like what do you love most about the company now that you've worked with them for so long?
One of the things I love the most when if you want to take this conversation kind of away from the product itself is I love the relationships that I've built. Like I love that I'm sitting here talking to you across the world right now and that we're feeling each other's hearts. You know, I love that even though we might not speak to each other every day, I love that you're my friend.
Yeah.
And I have so many people like that that I have gotten to know and love because of this company that's brought us all together.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's really beautiful. And for certain times we speak a lot and then we won't speak for ages, but that's like most good friends, right? Like, especially when you move around and stuff. Yeah, kind of amazing. Okay, what is your biggest strength related to doTERRA? Like, why do you think that you killed it so much in doTERRA? What's your biggest?
Yeah, I think I have a couple of strengths. I mean, one of them is my belief.
Yeah.
And I think for me, it's not just belief in the company, it's belief that I can make a difference. And I was thinking about this literally last night or this morning because I'm about to launch like a big project in the next 6 months. And I'm thinking to myself, like one of the things that helps that I think gets me going is that I never think anything is too hard to do. Right. And so I was thinking about this new course that I want to develop and this new membership site that I want to develop. And I'm thinking to myself, this is going to be easy. I already have all the content right here. I've already been talking about it for years. All I got to do is get it done. And then I started thinking back in, I'm like, there's actually a lot to do. There's like PowerPoint decks and there's video and there's videographer coming and there's shoots and there's scripts and there's launches and there's landing pages and there's this and there's that. And I'm like, but I don't get discouraged because I just know I can do it. Like I know I'm like speaking from my heart. And so one of my biggest strengths, I think, is just belief that I can do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Just hold on one
second. People? Yeah,
I'm going to see if I can get the guys to quiet down downstairs.
Sure, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, so the other thing that I think is my biggest strength is, and this I guess relates to the first one, is not giving up. You know, like I believe and I'm consistent and I just take action all the time. Like my top strengths are achiever and maximizer and activate. Like I like to get things done. And I think that if you show up every day in your life for your business, like that's what happens, you know?
Absolutely. Any tips for anyone that really struggles with those things, that maybe doesn't have the belief? You know, do you think there's anything they need to work on or anything you would point them towards or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I can't like just tell people to have belief and they're going to have it, right? Like we have to want to believe and we have to want to see a difference. And if we do, there are so many tools out there for us. One of the things that I always send my team to is Deb Erickson. She's a fabulous neuro coach. And one of the things that I practice every day in my life is meditation, guided meditations and affirmations, and hearing voices that are changing brain waves. Like it's possible, it's a thing. You can change the way that your brain is rewired, but you have to want it enough to do that. So if you are somebody who wants to see a different result, if you are somebody that wants to make a change, if you are somebody that wants to grow in a different way than you are growing right now, you need to make concerted efforts to, it's like if you're going to train for a marathon, you're going to get up and run every day. If you want to train your brain, you got to get up and you got to train your brain every day.
Mm-hmm. Personal development is really huge.
Yes.
And a lot of people joke whenever we're at doTERRA conventions, there's always jokes about doTERRA is the most amazing essential oil company and they source the most amazing essential oil company, but it really is a personal development company as well, because you get thrown into all that as well, which is just, it's incredible. Okay, what would you say your biggest weakness is when it comes to doTERRA?
I don't know if this is what like related to doTERRA, but I would say like my biggest weakness is just always wanting to get things done.
Okay.
You know, like,
so kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just like, I feel a huge sense of accomplishment when things get finished. And so I have trouble sometimes relaxing and I have trouble sometimes just chilling out and just pushing things off. And I'm just always moving. My brain is always churning. So my strength is, you know, also my weakness.
Yeah. And I think that's probably true for a lot of people. So it's a great, great answer. Okay, wonderful. What was the first thing you outsourced for your business? So I mentioned that you have like a one-person business. You've been so successful with this. Obviously now you probably do have some employees, some assistants and so on that help you produce on the level that you do at this point. But what was the first thing you outsourced in your business? I think a lot of people are too keen to outsource. So I just wanted to know what.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of different directions you could go. You could outsource by getting a personal assistant. You could outsource by getting somebody to help you with marketing. You could outsource by getting somebody to help you project manage. And a lot of people don't think like that's a thing. They're like, oh, I can manage everything. But the truth of the matter is when you have your life and your projects, when you can hack your life, when you can manage all your projects, when you've got somebody really like divvying it up and tasking it out for you, and then all you've got to do is open up your calendar and do it. There's so much free space in your world, and we spend so much time organizing and managing. So I think one of the things, the first couple of things I actually outsourced was project management and marketing.
Wow, fantastic. Okay. I just want to hammer through these questions because I know there's so much, you've done so many interviews online, so I'm just going to keep going fast through them. So is there a common problem you see with people that struggle, you know, like a lot of people say they want to build a doTERRA business and then they kind of just don't really go anywhere. You know, they buy some product and then they share with a couple of people and then they kind of say, oh, it's not really working or something like that. Is there a common problem?
The common theme, honestly, is that people are just, they're not taking action.
Yeah.
And that is sort of a common theme in life. You know, I could very easily be like, oh, I just want to recreate this course in this membership site. And then like 2 years can go by and I still haven't started it. Oh, I've been meaning to write that book. Oh, I've been meaning to run that half marathon. Like we as human beings say and want to do a lot of things that we never actually do. So I don't think it's any different when it comes to doTERRA. I just think that human beings are human beings and a lot of people just don't hold themselves accountable. So the question is do you want to be somebody who's accountable? Do you want to be somebody who does what you say you're going to do?
That's amazing. And I could definitely tell myself that a couple of times in the past 4 years. So I will take that on board myself. What are the qualities you love to see in a new builder in your team? Like when someone joins our teams, what's the best quality?
I love to see people who are resourceful, who are able to find information on their own, who don't come to you when they can go to Google. I love people who open their emails and open their messages and actually go through the training that you've delivered. Like when I bring on a new person, I systematically take them through an entire onboarding platform and most people just don't look at it. And it's right there. All you have to do is keep clicking. Like I'm taking a course right now on how to launch a membership site. And it is about 12 hours minimum of content that's in that course where I'm, you know, opening module 1 or intro module, and then module 1 and module 2 and module 3 and module 4. And every single module has like, you know, anywhere from 6 to 12 sub modules and videos. And I'm just one at a time, clicking through, watching them, taking notes. And most people just don't do that. So I love it when people are resourceful and they figure out, okay, there's already been a pathway that's laid out. Somebody's telling me how to do this. So all I've got to do now is actually just do it.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Okay, well, go on to something a bit more fun now. Favorite oil and blend from doTERRA? That's a hard question, I know.
Yeah, and I'm always wavering back and forth. I would say right now my favorite blend is Adaptive, quite honestly. Like I have just fallen in love with that product and what it's doing for my mental state these days. I've, you know, there's been times that I've loved Intune for focus. I obviously use Digest Zen every single day for my digestive system. It's not necessarily one of my favorite smells. My favorite oil, jasmine, is a beautiful oil. And then I love to make blends myself. So one of the favorite ones that I'm making these days is a drop of jasmine, citrus bliss, a little extra tangerine, and sandalwood.
Oh, beautiful. I'm going to try that after this. Thank you. Can you name some other products that you love? Because a lot of people don't realize that doTERRA has like amazing other products that we're all as hooked on as the oils.
Yeah.
So can you let me know maybe your...
Yeah, we have everything. I mean, this is a time when you're not leaving your house. Like, what are you buying on Amazon or what are you going to the grocery store for? And you don't really want to go to the grocery store. I buy my toothpaste from doTERRA. I buy my mouthwash from doTERRA. I buy my shampoo, my conditioner. I buy hair serum. I buy sugar scrubs for the bath. I use exfoliating products on my skin. I have mud masks, clarifying and detoxifying mud masks, cleansers, toners, anti-aging serums, you know, eye creams, moisturizing lotions, anti-aging lotions, hand soap, supplements, omegas, vitamins, nutrients, probiotics, digestive enzymes. I mean, you name it. Our world here is doTERRA. See?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we're all the same. Like, you just got really hooked, and you don't think you're going to get as hooked as you do. And then when you start trying stuff, it's like, yeah, you just realize how good everything is. And it's all really reasonable price too. So doTERRA have become a $1 billion company in the first 7 years. And I hope that's an accurate comment. And what are the benefits of a doTERRA business in this current climate of the pandemic? So I thought it was kind of amazing that they did that through a recession in America, like before I joined. But do you think there's benefits to having a doTERRA type business in this kind of climate?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I think these days what you want to be doing is having a sustainable business that you can work from anywhere on your own, and that you control your income, and you're providing a service and a product to people who need it. Like, people are never going to stop needing mental health products. People are never going to start needing products to help support their emotions or their physical health, their digestion, the toxicity in their body, their focus, their energy. Like, they're never going to stop needing this stuff. And you can build that right here from the comfort of your own home.
Yeah, it's really incredible. Okay, last question, a bit personal, is more like, you're a very active person. I know you've talked about this on social media recently. You're a very active person. You like people, you like contact. And how are you finding this whole situation with quarantine and not being able to travel and not being able to see all the people that you would normally hang out with in real life?
Yeah. I feel like it's had its benefits. Like, there was part of me the first couple weeks where I was like, this is kind of cool to be like grounded home and to just like let my nervous system settle from just like on and off airplanes all the time. Just really finding some serenity and some peace and some, like, I can tell like my energy is like, right? I've gotten really great sleep, and I've been able to spend a ton of time on personal care, and I've had some ideas flowing with all the extra hours in my day. But I'm ready to get out. I'm ready to travel. I'm ready to get out of their house. I'm ready to be outside. I'm ready to be surrounded by people. And even though I'm an introvert at heart, I feel like I am what I'm going to call a selective extrovert, where I just want to be around my doTERRA family.
Yeah, absolutely. I think introversion and extrovert is kind of like a scale, isn't it? You can be an introverted extrovert, an extroverted introvert. Moments you can be an introvert, moments you can be an extrovert. It's a tough thing. And this must be showing us a bit more about ourselves in this kind of crazy scenario. All right, thank you so much, Hayley. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're totally welcome.
Sharing all your wonderful tips and wisdom, and yeah, I'm sure that will really help a lot of people. So thank you.
Cool. Thanks for
Hayley Hobson, everyone. Thanks so much.